welcome back. When your cable bill goes up, it is not a good feeling, is it? I mean, no one likes paying more than they have to, especially when it comes in the form of sneaky fees or added surcharges.
Fees are the worst. They add up. They make people tend to be very mad, of course. So why don't people get angry about high fees that they're paying on their retirement account? Well, Abe Ashton's here to explain. Abe is one of the area's leading financial professionals. He helps people prepare for retirement and even hosts his very own weekly retirement radio show, which you can listen to fee-free, by the way.
Good morning.
Fee-free. Don't you love when you call your cell phone provider or the cable company or internet provider and you're like, oh, we're thinking about changing. No, did you know that there's a new discounted rate? Well, how long has there been the new discounted rate?
Yeah.
Only when you call and they tell you, by the way, you could be saving $20 a month, didn't you know?
Oh, you're in an old plan.
No, I didn't know. Thanks.
You know what? It makes me so mad because it feels deceptive. You're like, wait, I agreed on this amount a month, and then how come there's this extra $40? How come there's this extra $25?
Right. We could save everybody a few $100s a month just by saying, call your cable company, call your internet company, call your cell phone provider, and chances are by the end of the day, you'll have an extra $100 in your pocket just by saying, hey, I'm thinking about moving, and they've got the new deal you just didn't know about.
But see, the one thing is with those bills, though, you can look at it and you can see all the fees, and it's very clear on that sheet.
Yeah.
And then with these retirement accounts, I get 2 401ks at the moment, and each thing that you're in has a different percentage, and it's like cold fusion to try to figure out what you're actually paying.
Different loads on different funds and management fees and custodial fees. Here's an interesting stat that comes out from the Center for American Progress, and that is that the average person, by the time they get through retirement, will have spent $130,000 in fees.
No.
So when you start to wrap your head around what $130,000 could have done during retirement, you start to think, well, that's a lot of cruises. That's a vacation condo somewhere. That $130,000.
Now, that's what the potential of that fee could be? Because if it was actually invested as opposed to going to them, then it would gain interest along with all the other.
Exponentially.
Exactly.
You throw compounding interest on top of that, and all of a sudden you're talking maybe $500,000 over your lifetime because of the loss of opportunity there. And the problem is when we have people come into our office, 9 out of 10 folks don't know the true cost of their fees. Many come in with variable annuities with extremely high fees. They're paying between 2% and 4% a year. And then they look at their accounts and say, I just feel like I'm not seeing the growth that I should see.
Yeah.
And it's not because there's not growth to be had. It's just because you're getting so beat up on the fees that they're not transparent, which is what you're saying. There's very little, there's a lot of fake news in the fee in the fee arena when it comes to your account.
So what's considered then high when it comes to fees? What's that number like? If you see it past that number, we should probably
Okay, first of all, if you see it, right?
That's true.
That's the big thing. If you see it and you see that you're paying more than 2% a year in fees on any account, it's probably way too much. But again, fees are only an issue in absence of value. Because if you have an account that's skyrocketing and you find out, hey, I'm paying 4% in fees, but I'm going up 15% a year, net of fees, you think, I don't care about paying 4%. But that's a big if, right? It's when people right now, when fixed interest rates are so low and someone says, I want to be in a conservative account and they're only earning 2% and they're paying 3% a year in fees, all of a sudden they ask themselves, why am I going backwards 1% every year? I'm in a conservative account.
Yeah.
Well, because you're paying 2 or 3% in fees and only earning 2%.
Wow.
And no opportunity for growth there.
Yeah.
One of the difficult things, I think, Abe, is that, I don't work in retirement. I don't work in the financial.
I do, so shoot.
Yeah, I don't work in the financial industry. So when I go to look at my 401k statement or any financial statement, I need it to be quick, and it's hard for me to kind of uncode the language. How do I know whether or not I'm
You're doing what everybody else does, right? Which is, did I go up or did I go down this week or this month or this quarter, right? How did I do? You're not taking the time to dig in there and say, where are these fees? The good thing is there are professionals out there like us and anyone else out there that can do a fee x-ray and start to dig in and dive down and say, where are the fees? Are they on the individual funds? Is there a blanket wrap fee? And then we can kind of decipher this Da Vinci code of the fees on financial accounts.
And speaking of that fee x-ray, you're offering that complimentary to the first 7 callers.
Yeah, call in.
Yeah, you see the number right there on the screen. Mention the Morning Blend. Get in on that. And now, how do you then take this information? What do we provide to you? And then how are you able to figure out uncrack the code?
That's a great question. So you bring in your statements, and often what we do is we get on the phone and we know the questions to ask to the current custodian, to the current 401k, to the current account holders information. We start to say, okay, what are the fees? What are the loads? What are the charges? What are the rider costs? And then we start to write all those down. And unfortunately, we have the equal sign and the total at the bottom that normally causes a heart attack. right?
Yes.
Which
No,
is-
people get so mad when they know they've been paying fees they didn't
Right.
realize they were paying.
It happens a lot, but then we provide the solutions. How can they save money on fees and everything else?
Try to nip it in the bud as
I
soon
love
as
it.
possible.
See, you act as a representative, and you know the right questions to ask.
And he has
that's
snazzy
the
socks,
key.
as
and
usual.
he has great socks. He's a fine person.
It's great having you, sir.
Yeah, good to
you.
see you.
Thank you so much. Be one of the first 7 callers in Abe's office right now. Receive a complimentary fee x-ray. Find out what you've been paying in fees, and if it's too much, you put a stop to it. 702-900-8177 is the number.
Ashton and Associates are on St. Rose and Henderson near the 215. Their website is listed right there on your screen. They're proud sponsors of the Morning Blend.